The banana is coming. I know you're all waiting for the red banana. It's coming, and our today's special. But I was introduced to lantanas when I lived in Arizona. They grow everywhere out there. And as you know, Arizona, dry, arid, tough to grow anything. Lantanas thrive. They are a very rugged, durable plant. They are pollinator magnets because they have clusters of lots of little great flowers. And even though you wouldn't think they look more like a decorative flower, they smell amazing. You got to go right up to them, but they smell absolutely amazing. You're going to get 3 of our Bloomify Lantanas. They're all going to come in 3¼ inch pots, so they're ready to go. And here's what they'll look like. Look at how adorable. These are already flowering. I don't know how close you can get. Look at these. This is what you're going to get. These are Lantanas. Oh, just a little lovely light fragrance. You're going to get 3 of these ready to go. You have your choice. They come in the rose color, or they come in the red. I would imagine this is the red. That's the rose, I was right?
Red down here.
This is called red, but I would call this more like orange and yellow. But they're multicolor. Anyway, Carrie is back. I love lantanas. They grow everywhere. I walk my dog every day, and one of my neighbors has a fence covered with lantana.
Right. And this is by the beach.
Yeah.
Right? And think about how salty that air is. Think about how sandy that soil is. You guys, these are just incredible. You want to talk about a tough, hardy plant that, again, the deer and the rabbits cannot stand. They've got these little scratchy leaves that, you know, really to us aren't that scratchy, but boy, those little pests that we all can't stand, you know, if they're eating our stuff, these are going to be great. So you get your 2 choices, right? This is kind of like that rose, so it's got the pinks and the yellows and the corals in here.
It'll do multicolors. It's
crazy.
crazy.
They're multicolors.
Yeah, they are multi.
And this is a really special variety. These are called Bloomify. So these are actually sterile plants, which means they don't produce seeds, which means they're just going to keep kicking out flowers. These are what we call a weekend plant because you can go out of town for a weekend, forget about them, because they can be a little bit more drought tolerant than a lot of the other plants that we can sell. You can forget about it. You know, you'll come back and always remember to flower your plants, especially when you are first getting them established. But like you said, I mean, they're coming to you. This is one of the 3. If you choose the pink, right, you're going to get 3 of them, all ready with flowers all over it. Leaf and Petal always make sure that they are sending you fresh, well-packaged, healthy plants straight from the grower. So you don't have to worry about who wasn't doing what at the nursery, what they were exposed to. You're getting the best plants, which is why we offer the guarantees on our plants.
I like them too because they're all flowers.
Yes.
I mean, you have this beautiful dark green foliage, but when they start to burst open, they're almost like firecrackers, right? They pop open. And then if you come in close to looking at one of them, I'll put my hand here where maybe you guys can, I'll go right here. So I'm kind of leaning that way. I want you to see, great shot. Thank you guys. Thanks, Danny.
Look at how
so
pretty.
when you look at that, each one of these has about 20 or 30 little flowers in it, which is why hummingbirds and butterflies and bumblebees and, you know, pollen collectors, gatherers love this plant. All right, because it's well, they're going there for the nectar, but they're dispersing the pollen. It's a great plant to have because it's so concentrated with the amount of color.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
This is one of the most colorful plants that we sell.
Look at this guy.
Is this a joke? Look at that, right? Each one, this almost has like an ombre look to it. And you guys, these are all real. These are totally real plants. You know, I'm just
Real deal.
Yeah, look at that. Look at this right here. I mean, I can even pinch it off so you can see. And yes, they've got a great fragrance to them. Now, this has kind of a low creeping habit. Excellent in containers. Great as a ground cover because they'll just kind of creep along.
Yeah.
Wonderful they can climb too.
Climb.
They can climb up fences because they're really just a hardy, structured plant. If you live in the Southwest and you can't get anything to grow there because it's so hot and so dry, that's why they're all over the place
and
there.
because people are notoriously trying to save water out in the Southwest, so they don't want to use a lot of water. You know, you think it's tough here in Florida or in some places where you live. Go out in the West in the desert. They are so rough on allowing you to use water. So this is not going to soak up all that water. Don't forget, when you're in Arizona, that soil is clay, so it's really rough to grow anything in it. and it dries out very, very quickly. So I like these in pots too. You could even put them in pots around a fence and let them crawl up the fence if you want to do that.
I love that idea.
Right?
And they're just really a low maintenance plant. Tell me
Real
what?
quick, $20.
Oh yeah, we never even talked about the price.
They're $20. You get 3 of them.
Right, and listen, they grow very fast. This is first year here. You know, going from this to this is in 1 year. So talk about bang for your buck, right? And I love to show the map because for a lot of you right now, unless you're in like kind of the deep south of the United States, it's still too cold for you. But go ahead and take a look at the map, see where you are, find that coordinating color. That's when we're shipping them to you. They're gonna come fresh, they're gonna be really well sealed when you get them home. Unwrap them, give them a nice dose of water, figure out where you're gonna plant them. Maybe you're gonna do some containers. I see no reason why you can't put these in the ground. At this price, grab a few of these sets. You know, you can do all pink, you can do the mix of the pink and the red, you know, and kind of vary them. They'll stay nice and low, and they're a plant that you can really go a weekend without watering. Now, we always include our planting guide with all of our plants, and you'll see in there how these guys can handle a little bit more, you know, drought per se. But anytime you're trying to get a plant established, whether it's going to be in a container or in the ground, I definitely want to make sure that you're going to water it. And as always, you know, Guy, if you want something to bloom and bloom more, to go ahead and get your hands on that fertilizer as well.
It's the magic pill, it really is. And it feeds your plants so that you don't have to be so fastidious about all the maintenance. As long as you're giving it some fertilizer and I do mine every 3 weeks. 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah,
Take one of those pods,
fine.
I put it in water. Doug gave me a whole supply of this, and I've been using it. And I'm telling you, it's the reason I get roses in Florida in February.
Oh yeah.
That's hard to do because it's still cool here.
Right.
And I wish I took pictures today. All my roses are blooming right now.
Oh, I'm so happy.
And it's because I feed them on a regular basis.
It makes a huge difference,
I mean,
guys.
if you're gonna water them, why not water them with fertilizer, for goodness sake?
Yeah.
So, but remember, you only have to do that every so often. It's $20 and it's worthwhile. Here's what I'll tell you about these. If you have a brown thumb, all right, and you suck at it, this is a great plant. And our Today's Special is a great plant.
And boy, do they look good together.
They look fantastic.
Yep.
And we're going to be airing our Today's Special in just a minute, but that might be a would-be. They always chase me.
It was a honeybee.
Man, is it coming after me? That's why.
It was because you smell so good. You're just so yummy.
That's right, brother says something sweet over there. I got to go get a little piece of that.
That's because it's a pollinator and it is drawn to the pollinator.
I'm like, oh no, bees. And she's hitting me. She's like, no, bees are good.
They are good. These kind of bees especially. I mean, they're all pollinators, but I like the good pollinators. So we're talking the butterflies. Oh my gosh, my monarch butterflies go crazy for these.
I'm a little nervous about bees, only because, and listen, regular bees, hornets, I'm not crazy about. When I was a kid, me and my buddy Paulie, his grandpa was a contractor, and he had abandoned trucks up on a hill. So we used to get in them and pretend we were driving. We were 10 years old. We thought it was cool. So we get in this truck, we lock the door, we start hearing them all around us, and then we couldn't get the dang doors open.
Oh my God, how many times did you get stung?
I got stung like 8 times.
Oh, it hurts so bad.
Hornets are bad.
Hornets and wasps, right?
But
they're not interested in this. Yeah,
no.
Right. It's the bumblebees, the honeybees, really the butterflies and the hummingbirds.
Look at how beautiful that close-up of those flowers is.
Isn't this incredible? So again, you're gonna have to make a choice, right? Do you want that rose color or do you want kind of that red color down there? I say at this price, you can get them both. These are hardy plants. They tolerate a ton of heat. They tolerate a ton of sun. If you are going to be growing them up in the northern part of the country, go ahead and just give them as much sun as possible. Even here in the south of the country, right, when everything else is melting, right, like the petunias and the begonias and the impatiens, when they are melting away, these guys are thriving. They love the heat, they love the sun, so give them as much as you want. And again, this is called a sterile plant, which means it's not producing seeds, which means instead it's just popping out as much color as possible. Now, Guy, this is an annual. okay? So what that means is you're gonna use these for one season. So what makes that great is that annuals, since they only last for one season, they are pushing out as many flowers as possible, which is why you can just see these covered.
Right.
And they'll be blooming from spring all the way through fall.
It is a beautiful seasonal flower, and again, it's one of my favorites. And again, if you live in the South, because I know that guy that lives down the street from me here, he's had those lantanas for like 3 years.
Oh no, here they're
grow.
perennials.
Here they're perennials. But you know, if you get cold frost, you know, these are gonna, put it this way, they're like a meteor. They just come through, they're amazing.
Yes.
Your jaw drops,
yes.
and then they go away.
No problem, I'll take it. For this price, I'll take it.
All right.
And you know what, you don't even have to go to the nursery. We're gonna deliver them right to your house.
All right, so are you ready?
I am so ready, I'm starving.
Are you ready for bananas?
I'm starving.
Before we get to the red banana, we're gonna take a little break. We want to